Hello everyone, so today we will proceed with a snowball, and yeah, so let's open the main snowball scene. Great. And as you can see, I've created some additional lines. We will just hide it for now, we don't need them. And you can see we have a letter from previous tutorial, so we can remove it. In this case, we don't need it. We will create a new layers. Only can isolate, the glass material, glass bulb. It's a glass bulb probably. Okay, and we can create for a rest. This thing will be the snowball. Yeah. Awesome. And I will move it down the snowball and place under the reference in order to not select it. For a glass, probably I will do the same in order to not select the glass, and we can work full, and in case we need it, we will just hide it easily like that. Okay, so what we will do next, we can import the rest of the assets which we created. So let's start from probably from the Christmas trees. Okay, so let's import this scene from Christmas trees. Yes, awesome. Okay, so let's move it a bit aside. I will enable the grid. Have a bit more sense where and how far from 0 to 0 point trees are. Okay, so let's proceed to the imports. So we can import proceed importing, and let's import the house. Great, and as you can see, the house coming with not clean at the scene. So when I was rendering, I was adding some lights, some let's say stage. So I've just removed it, that part, and let's move the house aside somewhere here. Great. So we need to import the sledge probably as well. Yeah. Great. Okay, so let's import the sledge. Same thing, just remove any additional lights which are standing on our way, and then let's move aside our sledge. Great. So probably for a sledge I will create one group, grp sledge. Awesome. Okay, so we can see that we have a lot of additional display layers which we can hide, and yeah, we have a snowball and that glass one, and we don't need these two guys, at least for now. So we can just, what the hell is going on? Why I can just right click and delete it, right click and delete it. So basically we have these two layers here. Awesome. Okay, so we almost prepared this scene. So what we will do next, we will try to place our house into interior version. We don't need this camera as well. So I've just cleaned everything. I hope that I've cleaned everything. And right now we can play with our props. Okay, so let's try to pivot and scale our house and place our snowball. Like that. We don't want that this house will fly. We need to stay on the snow, let's say. Great. Okay, so right now we can, I don't know if the how scale is proper, but maybe we can increase a bit. Maybe. Okay, let's try to pivot and place our Christmas trees. Okay, they're definitely too large. We can play with the scale. Okay, so let's expand this group, and yeah, so let's start placement. Can even remove the glass or that you easiest to select and check which on which group our Christmas tree placed. Okay, so you can probably place that one in here, as they all almost similar. Only few, as you remember doing the tutorial, we just created few bands with a lattice tools, with the lattice tool. So okay, so let's go and place them. Simple as that. Just arrange on the area, and later on we will go to the side. This one in here. Okay. This one in here. Great. And for that one, we will think about it. I will place a bit to the side right now. Okie dokie. So what we can do? Let's start from this one. Probably I will scale like this, just to the X and the Z axis. Don't touch the Y axis. I mean, don't scale in all axes, only X and Z, as you can see. Yes, you can do it by numbers if you want. Great. But to be honest, as a close-up, I don't really like some of the parts. Okay, we will check it a little bit later for that one. Yeah, can even scale a bit down, place to the side, something like that will be pretty awesome. Something like that. Okay, how it will look with a bulb. Very close but not penetrating. Awesome. Okay, so let's move to another one. Probably I will trim to the sides as well, just a bit, but I will scale it into a grove. Will be a big tree. Awesome. Okay, for this one, let's shrink a bit. Move like that. Probably will shrink and create as a small one. Maybe not so small. Maybe even I will change the placement with that one, and I'll increase into the size. Something like that. Okay. Yeah, and as you can see, I'm just playing with bending and just the shape of the Christmas tree, and just rotate in some manner or other. But in general, everything is very simple. I can probably that one I will place. I'll duplicate and place in here probably as a small one, and let's make it thinner. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, so what we can do next? Oh, we can see it's like a climbing. Okay, let's make that one a bit bigger. And to be honest, I don't like that small one. I still don't like it. Okay, maybe we can switch it with this one. Okay, and probably now we really can just duplicate it and create something very small in here. Okay, it's definitely up to you, but trying and playing with our content, yeah. Okay, so for this big one, let's introduce some bending tools. Let's go to deformers, nonlinear, and just use the bend tool. So you can see in the channel box we have a bend tool. You can use a curvature in order to bend it, and probably I will bend in that direction as this one pointing inside, let's say, the ball. And yeah, so basically this one is for a bending. For example, if you want to have on a degree base, so it will be 90, yeah, 90 degrees angle. And this one is a strength, and you can imagine that it's a percent from 0 to 1, probably 50%. It will be, whoops, 50, whoops, 0.5. It will be 50%, yeah. So it will be something like around 45 angle, yeah. Great. And don't forget that this line with bending curve, let's say, you can move it in that manner. You can create a bending as you want. And don't forget one more thing, that you have low bound and high bound, meaning that you can impact only bottom part or only the top part, as you can see. So you can play on both of them. Yeah. Okay, and definitely we can see the penetration on this part. So let's clear the history, and in that manner we will clear that bending deformer from our mesh. Great. If you don't like it, you can play it again. We have a little bit more tools, let's say like a wave, twist, self-explanatory. You can just twist your mesh, yeah. Great. So just select your mesh and clear the history to get rid of it. Okay, so we'll just straighten like that a bit. Okay, dog. Maybe it will be good. Let's check with a ball. Okay, let's move it to a side and even make it bigger. Okie dokie. So we have pretty funny composition. Okay, let's more bit more of our trees, let's say. Something like that. So before, great. Fix the penetrating areas. Alrighty, something like that. And okay, so I will leave one of the trees down here just as a backup in case we need any of them. So let's move to the sledge, and probably I will select as a pivoting point that bag, and great. Let's move it in here, scale it up a bit, and try to place our sledge somewhere close to the house. Maybe something somewhere here. I don't know. Let's imagine that our Santa preparing. Second, we have presents. We have and in here it's a bit mess. So let's do a quick help for ourselves. Just press let's select the present, Control G. Select the present, Control G, Control G, Control G. The same for that back, Control G. Great. So in that folder we can select, the object and place and play a bit easier. And yeah, let's center the pivot for them. So select and press this button for center the pivot, or select the group G, G, G. Great. So right now we can scale a bit this bag. Awesome. Let's play with our presents. Okay. Just try to duplicate, just try to play with a scale, and in that manner we will have a bit more presence which we can play. So simple like that, we can gain some better look and more pleasant look, let's say. Okay, so easy like that. We have something. Yeah, we have our sledge near to the presents and Santa preparing, let's say, whole bunch of presents for kids. Maybe it's a bit too big, you know, this bunch, this bag. But oh well, there's a lot of kids waiting for a Santa. Let's push a bit here. Okay. Okay, something like that. It's pretty cool. What do you think? And yeah, I'm not trying to shade right away. I'm not placing the cameras, and we will start talking right now about the cameras. But I have a general idea, and later on, when I have at least some rough idea how we will place the object, let's get rid of it. And yeah, so now what we can do, and we can create, for example, camera. Yeah, select the camera, go to the panels perspective, and you can select that camera and look through that camera. Great, and now you can go to that camera and try to position it. Can apply other, let's say, properties. For example, if it's a V-ray, you can apply the attributes for a physical camera or something like that. Awesome. So you will have a shot, for example. You have an angle or something like that. You have let's say, rough sketch how you want to see. So you can place that camera in that angle and proceed with a placement of the asset. Definitely you can then even slice the screen in two parts, and in one part, let's say, go to your camera. You will see this bounding screen. You will have a rendering shot, and in here, for example, you can go to a perspective or overview. In here you can try to model and fix everything how you want. Yeah, great. Do you have another possibility to do something like this? Yeah, sure. So in case you don't like to split the screens or to do some kind of tricks like that, or maybe you have multiple shots and you don't want to have 20 screens separated, what you can do, you can, for example, let's go back to a single camera. Okay, so bookmarks. Let's go to the bookmarks. Simple menu and very straightforward procedure. So when we have our cam and we want to have a multiple shot, can name, for example, shot 1, shot 2, description, informative, etc, etc. For example, 45-degree angle on the left or something like that. But in our case, we just position the camera. Okay, let's make it short. 01, description, left cam 45, and maybe to the top /45. Okay, and what we can do, press the new bookmark. And as you can see, we have one shot, and we have a camera shot. We can go to another, let's say, place, another angle, new bookmark, maybe one from the top, new bookmark, from the back, new bookmark, and we can just double click it and check from that angle. And it's a bit annoying. Yeah. So what we can do, we can select it and add to the shelf. So you can see one icon appear. Maybe this one, add to the shelf. That one, add to the shelf. This one, let's do it again. Add to the shelf. Great. So right now we can just close it and move from this menu to the rendering menu, which you stored. Great. So I will remove it. I don't need it. I've just showed you how you can do it in one or another manner, and I will delete everything. Great. So this is for bookmarks. Great. So let's go to our camera. We can rename the shot cam 01. Awesome. Yeah, so let's proceed working on our scene. And you know what I'm missing in the scene? The snow. The whole idea. Okay, so what we can do, we can introduce fast the my mesh tool, and you know, for a snowflake we can use maybe this one. I will hide everything. Okay, so let's try to scale this. I don't know how this shape called. Atomic. Okay, it doesn't matter, it will be snowflake. We have this snowflake. Awesome. So what we can do in order to fill this area of the snow, we can, no, probably I will remove the bottom part in order to see the snowflake. And let's go to Maya Mesh, find the Maya Mesh menu, or you can go, I believe it should be on the, no, it's under FX, I believe, yeah. FX and Mesh, create a network. You can unpin it and throw it in here, for example. Okay, but as I am trying to do for a beginning, so I'm always trying to use everything defaults in order you to not be confused. Okay, so let's go to my mesh and select that small tiny thing, snowflake, and press this button, and voila, you have the my mesh. Did you see the snowflake going to one direction? There, great thing. Yes. So let's press Ctrl A. Awesome. We have a, let's say, menu for my mesh. We can press this button and the additional menu will pop up. You can use this area, and for a beginning I probably advise you to use this one. In here you can clearly see at least visual representation, or guess from visual representation what that thing can do. As in here you can press right click, you can create the colors, labels, etc., or you can press this dot plus sign and add the same things which are in here. So it's a, let's say, more compact and more, I don't say the friendly user menu, but later on I bet that you will use that one instead of this one. Okay, but we will select the my mesh, we'll go to the mesh distribute, and in here we will select the linear, radial, spherical. In our case it definitely will be a spherical, but you can use a grid, and you can play with the grid distance And definitely it's not my mesh tutorial, because you can spend a half of here explaining about that Maya mesh. It's looks simple, but you know, it's only your imagination what you can create. So okay, as you can see, you can add much more snowflakes. Isn't that cool? Great. So let's go to our spherical thing. Oh, and the spherical thing is pretty huge, and we need to increase the point number. The point number is our snowflakes. As you can see, it's a huge ball. Yep. Okay, so we can shrink it a bit, something like that. Super awesome. Okay, maybe, yes, maybe we can remove a read node, and let's try to position it down in order to gain better understanding of the scale of our mesh, which will be distributed in distributing these balls. So easy like that, you can create a snowflake. It's incredible, don't you think? Okay, so it's pretty awesome. You have a radius. Okay, so that will be perfect. Awesome. What we can do right now, it's like a cluster in here, and if it will be a stars or something, and you will look from very long distance, maybe it won't be such issue. However, I don't like it. So what we can do, we will go and add the random node, and as you can see in this my mesh, we can add additional things. So right, oops, let's press it and add random node. Boom! Great! So we have much more things right now to play with. We can play with a position. As you can see, we can play. Okay, so let's do a position. Maybe even to play with a 5. No, it's definitely too much. 2. So, to be honest, looking great. Okay, but we can play with a scale too. As you can see. Isn't that cool? Oh, awesome. Okay, 2 was great. Rotation, definitely you can play with a rotation. With a scale, probably I will reduce it a bit, because snowflakes like a big rocks in this scenario. Yes, I know it's a cartoony thing, etc., etc., but yeah, I don't want to exaggerate too much. Awesome. So right now, what we need to do, we can go and shrink the radius in order to place. But as you can see right now, we have another problem. Okay, so we have these two problems. We need to, let's say, be somewhere in order to fit that cluster. Okay, wait a second. It was 2 and everything was placed too close to each other. We will reduce some snowflakes to 250, and let's, okay, play a little bit with scale. Okay, so one will look like this, and if we will increase it in here, probably it will be good. Probably. not too much. Okay, that's 300. Let's try to 300. Okay, and as you can see, it's like that. We've created that snowflakes, and you can play till perfection. Yes. Okay, so I will reset transformation for a glass node, and again, let's go to the read. Okay, so I will select only this mesh, the top of mesh. Just Ctrl D to duplicate. Easy like that. I will throw it in the scene, and here I will scale a bit. It was not so accurate. In general, you can see that we have something like this. I will delete that node, I mean the my mesh node. We don't need it anymore, at least in this tutorial, yeah. But definitely Maya mesh, it's a huge thing, and it's like a black horse for Maya in general. Okay, so we have a snow, we have a house, we have a all this scene. Maybe later on we can create some kind of candies or bubbles for trees. Definitely we're missing one super details, and as I mentioned previously, the details is the key. So right now, as you can see, this is a very poor scene, very poor, because you can create smoke for a chimney. You can create some accessories for trees, and in that manner the scene will look definitely much better. Okay, so for this tutorial probably this is it, and yeah, if you think that we already completed, you're deeply mistaken. Okay, this is a joke. So here right now we can play with the lights, and later on we will try to play with shading. Simple like that. We will move step by step further in order to create proper scene. But well, maybe it's not in this tutorial, or maybe I will do that later on after this tutorial, let's say. So stay tuned, don't give up, and try to create something. See ya.